What if England and Russia were at war? How might it affect you, the public, in ways you might not expect? War. It's a word that conjures images of soldiers on battlefields, politicians in tense negotiations, and headlines that scream of conflict and strife. However, the true impact of war extends far beyond these obvious elements. It reaches into every corner of society and touches everyone, from the business owner to the student, from the family man to the retiree. And it's these subtler, often overlooked effects that we're going to delve into today. Imagine waking up one day to find that the world as you know it has changed. It's not just about the headlines or the news alerts on your phone. It's about the price of your morning coffee going up, or the sudden unavailability of your favorite fruit at the local supermarket. It's about your neighbor, the small business owner, struggling to keep his shop open because his supplies are now costlier or harder to come by. It's about your child, the student, facing uncertainties about their future because of shifts in educational policies or funding. But these are not just hypothetical scenarios. We've seen it happen before. In the aftermath of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the pound reached a 37-year low. The United Kingdom had to grapple with nearly 10% inflation, and the repercussions were felt by everyone, not just the economists or politicians. It's these stories, these ripple effects of war, that we often don't talk about. But they're as real and as impactful as the war itself. They shape lives, change destinies, and leave a lasting imprint on societies. And it's these stories that we're going to explore today. We'll step into the shoes of the business owner, the student, the family man, and see how their lives might be changed in the wake of a war between England and Russia. So buckle up and join us on this journey of discovery and understanding. Now let's explore these hypothetical stories. Picture this: a small business owner in London, struggling to keep her cafe afloat amidst rising costs. Meet Emily, a cheerful woman who's poured her heart and soul into her cafe, a cherished neighborhood gem. But now, the war's far-reaching effects are creeping into her daily life. As the repercussions of the Russia-Ukraine war ripple through the global economy, the UK finds itself in the throes of a financial upheaval. The pound's value has plummeted to a 37-year low, and inflation has soared to an alarming 9.9%. And for Emily, this economic turbulence spells a steep rise in the cost of running her cafe. Everyday essentials, from milk and sugar to coffee beans, have become more expensive. The increased energy prices mean that even keeping the lights on and the ovens warm is costing her more than ever. And let's not forget the newly unveiled tax cuts. While they may be a boon for high earners, for small business owners like Emily, they simply add to an already overwhelming burden. But the struggle doesn't stop at the rising costs. As prices go up, customers' wallets tighten, and the bustling cafe starts seeing fewer faces. The reduced footfall means less income, making it even harder for Emily to keep up with her escalating expenses. The very survival of her cafe hangs in the balance. And Emily's story is not unique. All across the UK, small business owners are grappling with the same challenges. As costs rise and profits shrink, they're forced to make tough decisions. Some may have to let go of their employees, leading to job losses. Others may have to close their doors for good, their dreams crushed under the weight of the economic fallout. For this business owner, the war is not just a headline, it's a daily battle for survival. Imagine a university student in Moscow whose dreams of studying abroad in England are shattered. Picture a young man, bright-eyed and hopeful, having spent countless nights poring over textbooks, preparing for exams, dreaming of a future in England. A future filled with the promise of a world-class education, new experiences, and a chance to broaden his horizons. But then, the unexpected happens. The Russia-Ukraine war breaks out, and England, along with the rest of the world, is forced to take a stand. Suddenly, what seemed like a distant political issue becomes a stark personal reality for our student in Moscow. The fallout of the conflict is not just on the battlefield, but also in the quiet corners of his life, where dreams were quietly nurtured. Visa restrictions are imposed, making it almost impossible for him to set foot on English soil. His passport, once a ticket to the world, now feels like a chain holding him back. The universities that once welcomed international students with open arms now view applications from Russia through a lens of caution and suspicion. Even if he manages to clear these hurdles, there's the question of acceptance. Will he be treated with the same respect and openness, or will he face a wall of hostility born out of a war he had no part in? The world he dreamed of is now filled with uncertainty and fear. The impact on his education is significant. His plans, the courses he wanted to take, the professors he hoped to learn from, are now all out of reach. His future, which once seemed so bright and promising, is now clouded by geopolitical tensions. Beyond education, consider the impact on his personal growth. Studying abroad is not just about books and exams, but also about learning from different cultures, understanding diverse perspectives, and growing as a global citizen. These invaluable experiences are now denied to him. For this student, the war is a roadblock on the path to his dreams. The war, waged by powers beyond his control, has not just claimed territories and lives, but also dreams and futures. It serves as a stark reminder that the ripple effects of conflict extend far beyond the battlefield, into classrooms and homes, shaping and often shattering lives in its wake. Consider a family in rural England grappling with the harsh realities of a loved one serving in the military. Their daily lives have been irrevocably marked by the shadow of conflict. The empty chair at the dinner table, a stark reminder of the ongoing war. Meet the Johnsons, a modest family of 4. Their eldest son, Richard, has been deployed to the front lines. His departure has left a palpable void in their home, his absence felt in every room. Richard's parents, John and Mary, grapple with the duality of pride and fear. The pride of seeing their son serve his country, intertwined with the constant fear for his safety. The Johnsons' daughter, Emily, a bright teenager, has been shouldering the burden of her brother's absence. She misses Richard's guidance and support, and his absence has left her navigating adolescence without her confidant. The psychological impact on Emily is profound, with studies suggesting that siblings of deployed military personnel often experience increased anxiety, depression, and changes in behavior and school performance. The Johnsons are also feeling the financial strain. With Richard's income significantly reduced while he's deployed, they're making ends meet with less. They're cutting back on non-essentials, carefully rationing their resources, and facing the daunting prospect of potential future financial instability. Moreover, the Johnsons, like many other families, are dealing with the emotional toll of uncertainty. They wait anxiously for each letter, each phone call, each piece of news from the front lines. Their lives are punctuated by the worry of the unknown, the fear of bad news, and the hope for Richard's safe return. This is the unseen impact of war on families. The emotional, financial, and psychological stresses can have long-term consequences, changing the trajectory of lives in ways we can't always predict or prevent. For families like the Johnsons, the ripple effects of the war extend far beyond the battlefield, infiltrating their homes, their hearts, and their everyday lives. For this family, the war is a constant source of fear and uncertainty. These stories illustrate just a few of the many ways the England and Russia war could impact the public. From the bustling city centres to the quiet rural towns, every corner of society would feel the ripple effects of war. Business owners might find themselves grappling with rising costs and dwindling profits. A once thriving shop might be forced to lock its doors for good, leaving its employees jobless and its community without a vital service. This is not merely a story of monetary loss, but also of dreams shattered and livelihoods destroyed. Students too would face their own set of challenges. The escalating costs could curtail their educational opportunities, forcing them to put their dreams on hold. A generation's potential could be stunted, its bright minds left untapped. And then there are the families, the ones who bear the emotional and financial strain of having a member in the military. The emotional toll of worrying for a loved one's safety, the financial burden of unexpected expenses. These are the unseen casualties of war. These ripple effects seep into every aspect of our lives. They disrupt our economy, alter our educational landscape, and place immense strain on our families. And these are just the effects we can see. There are countless others, hidden beneath the surface, shaping our society in ways we may not fully comprehend until years, even decades later. The impacts of war are not confined to the battlefield. They permeate our daily lives, influencing everything from the price we pay for a loaf of bread to the opportunities we can offer our children. Remember, the impacts of war reach far beyond the battlefield. They touch every one of us in ways we may not even realize.